the entertainment highlight of the week.
Red Ray Gun Limited presents
The Benji and Nick Show.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good day.
Good to be here.
Good evening.
Goodness gracious me.
Good night.
Good Friday.
Good socks.
Good gravy.
Good trousers.
Good fellas.
Good botulism.
Oh, goodness.
Loch Ness, thank you.
A worthy foe, I feel.
There you are. That was the Loch Ness game. That's not about
battle.
Loch Ness. That's not a game.
Yeah. But this is the Benji and Nick Show, where we broadcast and talk to you about cult TV from the past, TV you might remember, TV you might want to forget, or if you're like me, when a lot of the TV wasn't actually on the telly box, then a lot of it you're discovering for the first time, which is quite exciting.
Although you've watched most of it already.
Yeah, it's very that is true.
Well, I'm not Benji.
And I'm not Nick.
And today we're continuing our commentary of Doctor Who: Planet of the Daleks from 1973, starring John Pertwee and Katie Manning as the Doctor and Joe, and we continue with episode 2 of this classic from 1973. Yes,
it's a winner. It's a winner.
In a moment, we'll be looking at the emails you sent to podcast@nicholasbriggs.com. But first, let me just mention that the Benji and Nick Show is proud to be sponsored by The Village Shop, the online e-store run by the Unmutual website and Coits Media Limited, your one-stop shop for all things Prisoner, Danger Man and Patrick McGowan, including DVDs, Blu-rays, books, CDs, audio dramas, clothing, photos, homeware and gifts. New items are added weekly. And Benji and Nick Show, I've been doing this well for the last 2 podcasts, and then suddenly I've lost the ability to read. You listeners out there, folks, you can enjoy a 10% discount. Yes, you can. You can get 10% off all purchases by using the code LOCHNESS10. That's Loch Ness, all one word, capital letters, LOCHNESS10. No spaces. Loch Ness 10. Use that at the checkout. A further donation will also be made to Hope House Children's Hospice at no cost to you, which is rather nice. The address is, even though it's called the Village Shop, it's confusing. The address, it's www.theprisonershop.co.uk. The Prisoner Shop. That's The Prisoner Shop with no spaces. By the way, if you want to buy the book Plays, Spies and Private Eyes, inspired by ITC, which is on the site as well, at the Village Shop, all you have to do when you buy that, you enter the code Good Gravy in honour of our Loch Ness game, and that was one of Benji's pitiful entries into the non-game. Good Gravy, GOODGRAVY. That code, all in capitals, that'll get you 40% off Playboys, Spies and Private Eyes, inspired by ITC. I can nearly read today. So Loch Ness code is still available if you want, but if you want 40% off the ITC book, you can use Good Gravy. Anyway, so are you looking at the site to see what you can find?
I am, yes. I've got something here to present to you all. Obviously, at the moment, a lot of people around the world are currently self-isolating, as the term is, and stuck inside. So there's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things that you need to do in order to pass the time. And so I thought, what better way to do that than to get up the replica model kit on here, the Infomat replica model kit. So it's seen in The Prisoner, and it's based on the real life invention, the Directomat, which used to be at a lot of airports and railway stations in the 60s. What the Infomat did, of course, was to allow the villagers to search for places around the locale. And Pigeon Guard Games, Pigeon Guard Games have created an amazing wooden replica of this iconic prop.
Wow! How big is it?
It's 1/56 scale, so 28mm scale.
Right.
So not massive, but pretty.
How big is it? Like, I'm holding my hand here. This big? That big?
Well, I think it'd be diddly.
Well, tiny.
Like smallish, not like massive, but not tiny.
Well, you mean it's 28mm long?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's 15 by 10 by 1 centimeters. I'm the wrong person to ask, Nick. I'm the wrong
15 centimetres is like that big.
Well, this is 28 millimetre scale. 15 by 10 by 1 centimetres. I suppose maybe it is really big then. I don't know.
Well, no, it's about that.
Means
and it works really well on audio, me holding my hands up, doesn't it? Yeah.
I'm not.
Anyway, that sounds good. Well done.
But you can build it yourself. Is basically
well,
what I'm trying to get across.
You have to build it yourself.
You have to build it yourself. It's made of wood. It's a wooden kit, and it's very pretty, very detailed, and so it's I think it's a really fun thing to do. Get creative, and what better way to get creative than from the village shop?
Well,
so there
done.
we go.
Like
there
it.
we have it.
Also, you might like to have a look at nicholasbriggs.com. Do you want to have a look there? See what's on sale there.
Let's have a look. nicholasbriggs.com.
I feel that's my website. I never plug it. Or did we used to?
You've got to.
I don't know. Is there anything on it?
Shop. There we go. Shop. Got DVDs. God, he's stocked up.
And I signed them
Cyberman
for you.
audio, signed goods as well. Well, you've got to get on that one. So nicholasbriggs.com. So many things. Lots of lovely Big Finish releases in there. Lots of Dalek-y bits and bobs.
Which I will, sign for you. There's photographs of me.
You've got to do it. You've got to own a bit of Doctor Who.
There's a picture of me just after we shot Dalek, and a picture of me with a ring modulator, me with a Dalek and the Cyberman. If you want a picture of me, I mean, it might be. Anyway, I will sign it for you. What have we got on the books? We've got the Dalek Generation that I wrote, of course. And
Doctor Who storybook.
Doctor Who storybook. I wrote a story in that, and the 2 Doctor Who storybooks there. Again, I will sign those if you like. What have we got? E-books.
Echo books.
There's a series of ghost stories called Skein by Jonathan Barnes. And there's the library at Iffley Tower and the Templeston Gate. The Last Constitutional. Interesting.
So lots of very interesting stuff actually as well.
And there's a World War I book about my wife's late Uncle Reginald, late great Uncle Reginald, called Third Time Unlucky, who fought in the First World War, but on his third battle was killed. But it's all his letters, his little book and letters were found on the battlefield and sent home. And,
no way, really?
Got all those things, yeah.
God, it's amazing, is all these sort of things that you hear about and you see in films, and it all happens and it's real and it's out there, and it blows your mind, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, so that's all at nicholasbriggs.com. Oh, by the way, there's the cover for this week's podcast that we're recording now.
Magic. John Pertwee, Colin Smith, of course, the talented art man. Yeah. I think he's used a picture there of as one of the toy Daleks, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it really?
Recognise those slats? Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
I think so.
And he's just coloured it the right colour.
Magic.
What is it?
Got to ask you this one, Nick. Actually, just quickly, did you have a hand in writing the Dalek Survival Guide?
I think
I distinctly remember reading it and seeing your name in it.
Yes, I think I wrote a bit in it. I didn't. Yeah, I had something to do with it. I think I wrote a chapter or something.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Was James Goss wrote it as well? Did he?
So I've got it. Let me have a look.
I think got a feeling it was Justin Richards.
Oh, it's like a collection of lots of different people by the looks of it. April Warman and Rebecca Kincaid.
All right.
Justin Richards, Nicholas Briggs, Stephen Cole, Jacqueline Rayner, and Mike Tucker.
All right, so James didn't do that one. Yeah.
It was good fun, though. I like that book.
Yes,
just felt the need to say that, really.
It's not on sale on my site, though, is it?
No, it's not. But I felt that's why I was thinking, oh, that's one that you did.
I do. I think it was like one of the first, things I did. Bit of writing that I got paid for.
Well, there you go. There's one to order in.
And all the photographs of me that are available for signing don't have a beard on them.
But Nick will happily, if you ask him, he will happily draw one on.
I certainly will. I certainly will, yes. At no extra charge, I will draw a beard on my little baby face.
That's commitment to the cause, isn't it?
Okay, now your emails. Now let's have a look at these emails. Yeah, I think I'll read the first one because it means I'll read the third one, which is hugely long, and I don't want to subject you to that.
You're a gentleman.
So this one is called Follow Me, which is what we talked about last week, a children's adventure television series from HTV West in 1977, which I've been enjoying a few more episodes of.
As have I.
Yeah, Benji's delved in too. This was sent on the 16th of March in the year 1307. It's from Jeff Flugel. Hello, he says. No, he doesn't say that. He says, all right, me old mucker. He doesn't say that either.
The old geezers.
That's what we could just completely misrepresent what people say.
Yeah, why? I mean, why not? Just make up.
Yeah.
They're not really emails. We've done them ourselves.
Jeff Flugel says we should drink all the oceans of Earth. No. Dear Benji and Nick, says Jeff, for real. Hello, gentlemen. I just wanted to drop you a note to let you know how much I've been enjoying your podcast. Oh, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
I'm a recent convert. Welcome, brother. Having only heard about your show from a comment made on Gallifrey Base. That
was a good comment.
Well, it says by that thoroughly nice bloke, Andrew Pixley. What a pleasure it is to hear such lively chat from your fine selves about all these great old cult TV shows. I'm sorry that neither of you were overly impressed with Follow Me. And well, I think we're latterly more impressed with it. It does start out a bit slow, but the pace picks up from episode 2 onwards, as indeed Benji has found. And I enjoyed the serial a good deal when I watched it last year. I do think it's worth persevering through the remaining episodes if you get the chance. Yes, we're with you, Jeff. We are going to do that. In a similar vein, now this, I feel I must just go to Amazon and get this now. May I recommend another HTV children's action serial, The Doombolt Chase, 1978, written by Don Houghton, who wrote Inferno.
Yeah.
And shot all on film. This one really rockets along with lots of action and intrigue. The cast is very good as well. Peter Vaughan, Frederick Yeager, Ewan Solon, again, of course, John Woodnut, George Coulouris, and Donald Burton, Commander Niles from the excellent warship. Brilliant. He was also in Claws of Axos, I seem to remember.
Solid choices there.
No, he's not Commander Niles. The guy from Claws of Axos is his second in command, is his number one. Anyway, that was just a screenshot of my brain there.
Yes, maybe.
Oh God, don't know what's going on. Oh.
He's had an idea.
Oh. I think I've broken my metronome. No, I haven't. Time is ticking down to my demise. Right.
Does sound like the start of something from Chigley, like of Trumpton.
Yes.
Nicholas Briggs, the clockmaker. Ring ding.
This is taking forever.
He's been and gone and done it now.
I might have to do a bit of editing because this is boring me. In a similar vein. No, I've already read that bit out. The three young leads are a bit older here than the kids in Follow Me and do a good job carrying the action, a lot of which was shot in the Brecon Beacons.
Very nice.
You a big fan of the Brecon Beacons?
Love a bit of the old Brecky Bees.
I didn't like their second album. Thanks again for putting together such a fun podcast for all of us fans of old telly. All the best.
Old telly.
Jeff in Japan. Yeah.
Double J. Thank you very much, Jeff. We got one here from Neil Allen. Subject: Sweary Mary. This was sent on the 18th of the 3rd, 2020 at 22:50 hours. 5,500 hours.
Yeah.
Just to really back that one across. Hi, Benji and Nick. Hope you're keeping well in what feels like an episode of Survivors, but with less emphasis on grow your own food and more grab your own food. It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Stop stockpiling people.
Have to start doing what they do, which is hang some poor bloke with a bit of cardboard round his neck that says "Looters will be shot."
Oh God!
Can you imagine? Toilet roll hoarders will be slapped around the face with a kipper. I've been watching the new Star Trek series Picard.
Yes.
what really stands out is how much swearing is in it, with everyone effing and jeffing like their life depends on it. So far, Jean-Luc Picard hasn't felt the need, but there's still a few episodes to go in which he might start at it too. I know Nick Briggs had a go at dropping the F-bomb in a podcast a few months back.
That was a mistake.
But it was only the once.
Yes.
And Benji had that haunted laptop that jumped out at him one Halloween. But I was wondering what's your view on swearing in TV shows. Do you think any future Doctor Who's might start going sweary Mary to keep up with Picard? Hope this gives you something to think about. Take care of yourself and your family. Regards, Neil Allen. You too, Neil. Take care of yourself as well. And everybody, in fact.
Yeah, take care of everybody else, Neil.
Swearing. Interesting one.
Yes,
I don't...
Go on.
You see, I was a bit taken back by it. I don't think I want swearing in Star Trek, but it's in there, and I'm kind of used to it already because of the tone of the series, and it's a bit of like an anarchist's. You're not in the restrictions of Starfleet. You're not on that very kind of regimented ship atmosphere. There's a little bit more rogue and out there. So I think in this case it actually works, although I'm not necessarily a fan of it myself.
Funnily enough, you say it's not within Starfleet. Of course, the main bit of swearing that just happened in an episode I saw recently of Picard.
I'm not up to date yet.
Oh, right.
I'm not up to date yet.
Well, he has a conversation with an admiral, and she tells him to shut the F up.
Oh, for God's sake.
But he is being really irritating, and it does feel entirely justified. Yes, I think that... we were a bit sweary with our Doctor Who's at Big Finish. We never dropped the F-bomb, but we used to, use words for poo and illegitimacy, if I can phrase it that way, occasionally, because we didn't think of anything of it. And I think swearing, certainly for someone of my generation, it felt like a freedom thing that you started to do with as you got older. Someone's mowing the lawn next door. I thought I was being attacked by a hovercraft. Or an enormous bee. Oh, no, it is an enormous bee. No, it isn't. The size of the shed.
But don't swear. We're not post-watershed yet.
So it does give you some headroom. So like when I did The Human Frontier for Big Finish, I thought I was going to make it very adult, and it is very adult in its themes. But there's hardly any swearing in it at all. There's certainly no F-bomb. There's certainly no C-bomb. There's a W used in a very innocuous context. And I can't remember, there are a few other minor swear words in it. So I think it's okay in Star Trek.
It's how it's handled.
Yeah, and the thing that I don't like in Picard is... I don't remember any of the names of the characters. I am enjoying it, but I couldn't tell you what any of them are called apart from Jean-Luc Picard. Even the android girl in it, I don't remember her name as well, because her sister was a different name, and then she's got the same identity as someone else. And they've all got weird names. But the guy who plays the pilot of the ship they're flying around in, he's got various emergency holograms, all played by the same actor, with the same actor showing his amazing dexterity and versatility doing accents, all of which he can't really do. And they are so embarrassingly patronising. I mean, his Scottish and his Irish, you just think, please don't do that. That's really...
I wonder if he's the same bloke that played that dwarf in The Witcher, the one with the terrible Scottish accent that made me want to kill somebody.
Yes, it's really... I don't know whether he was American or not. I mean, there's a cliche, is there not, that all Americans think they're descended from the Scots and the Irish, aren't they? And they're all...
Yeah, that's a cliche.
It's not true. It's offensive. But anyway, yes, that's what I'm finding offensive in Star Trek Picard. The fact that these terrible, terrible accents... I mean, I think he's a really good actor and a very handsome chap. But goodness me, I don't mind a bit of swearing. I would rather have swearing than his accents.
Wow, I mean that says it all. I mean, I've got an opinion of like the opposite thing in that things like Coronation Street. I find it really jarring in modern context when they say things like "oh flip,"
Yes.
"oh sugar," because nobody says things like that, and so I think there's a certain feeling of it feels really uncool. Oh flip and flip off.
Yes.
You know, and what's the one that always appears in London's Burning, which gets on my wick, is they keep using the word pigging.
Oh,
yeah, pigging well do this. I've never heard anybody ever say that in a serious context. We had
Lucy Miller say pigging quite a lot. Pigging and bleeding. Lucy Bleeding Miller.
Yeah, Lucy Bleeding Miller, though, you know, but that's part of the character. I mean, this was just this is, you know, that thing. This is one of the things that really irritates me is when a writer has certain phrases that they obviously say in life.
Yes.
And then feel the need to put it across a wide range of different characters as though everybody says it when they don't.
Yeah.
That's irritating. Like Piggin, for example, everybody's saying it, and I'm like, nobody says that. Like
nobody
maybe
says it,
one
and
person. Maybe I often call if I often call the toilet the Kazi. Yeah. And hardly anybody says that. And if I started writing everything, so every character, I'm just nipping to the Kazi, then people would be like, who says that? You know, that irritates me. In regards to the question about will Doctor Who ever go sweary, unless they drop a B-bomb, I don't think we're going to.
Well, they've had, they have had a
KBO,
haven't they? KBO.
I was really
shocked by that. But some people, you see, views on swearing differ. Some people say that word, that B word, is not swearing. I said, well, it technically isn't. Well, I don't regard it as swearing. Well, that's a different thing, isn't it? Whether you regard something. And also SOD as well. I regard that as swearing. It's what you would say. What you could get away swearing is what you could get away with saying in front of your parents when you were a teenager, and I couldn't have got away with saying any of those words at all. But that changes, doesn't it? I mean, luckily my son he doesn't want to swear and tells me off for it.
There was a great clip I saw on Twitter of this little boy in the back of his dad's car, and the boy says, "Dad, I know I'm not meant to say it," he said, "but this coronavirus thing is," and then he says the B word. He said, "It's ruddy scary, isn't it, Dad?" He says, "Yes, it is ruddy scary." So, I thought it was very endearing, actually. But
I remember Ben watching The Talons of Weng Chiang, and he said something and said something was bloody, and I looked at him and he went, "Oh no," and he was actually referring to the fact that it had blood on it.
That's the difference, isn't it? Saying like a word like bloody has a lot of different you can say it one way or another.
And the Americans don't regard bloody as a swear word at all, do they? They think it's an eccentric English word.
Which is why it's in loads of films, like Harry Potter. Yeah. You know, with Ron, that became Ron's catchphrase, and yet lots of kids went to see that film.
Yeah, I mean, and that is not we don't expect our children to say bloody, to be quite frank.
Funny, isn't it? It is funny.
Yeah. In America, they don't say it because it's not in their vocabulary. And the W word as well, which still isn't quite as widely known outside the UK. That's used in The Simpsons quite a lot, but that's actually thought of as quite a rude swear word in this country, isn't it? The W word.
Yeah, well, there's different words as well. Different words travel in different ways, don't they? And other words elsewhere perhaps regarded as worse by them than us, and vice versa, I suppose, really.
Okay, our old friend Adam Graham writes in the subject Kids TV. He sent this on the 17th of March in the year 1341. Oh, that's got to be a good one, Benji. What happened in 1341?
1341.
Was that the plague or something? Anyway, Dear Nick and Benji, regarding children's television, I didn't listen to the commentary episode yet, so I have no idea what the rules are, but I'm going to limit myself to those programmes I watched prior to age 10. The first television programme I ever loved was Welcome to Pooh Corner, a 1980s Disney Channel version of Winnie the Pooh with people dressed in costumes as the characters. It sounds awful.
That's terrifying.
I adored the show as a 3 and 4 year old. Fair enough, no taste. I adored the host Laurie Main and watched it and watching it was the highlight of my day. I lived in the middle of nowhere and watched it on a satellite dish, not on a television. And to this day, I still remember songs from it. Ho ho. Later on in childhood, there was the religious TV show Gospel Bill about an old West sheriff that was pretty good. I also watched Garfield and Friends and have positive memories of the show, even though I watch it. Even though if I watch, I also watched Garfield and Friends and have positive memories of the show, even though if I watched it today, it doesn't hold up well, except for the ant episodes. I don't know what that means. And then there, of course, were the original TV Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which are beautifully cheesy and stoked my love of science fiction. Like Benji, I grew up on a lot of old television programs in an era where kids' TV was passed down from generation to generation. Yogi Bear, Quick Draw McGraw, yeah, I remember all these, and a bunch of weird Flintstone spin-offs. Well, they're Flintstone spin-offs from the 1970s were all part of my childhood via the USA Network's Cartoon Express. What about the Hair Bear Bunch? Did you ever see the
Remember the Hair Bear Bunch?
It's the Hair Bear Bunch. Da, da, da. Also, many live-action old sitcoms from years gone by, including Mr. Ed, the Talking Horse. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's in nightmares. I also enjoy public television programs like some of your other listeners, including Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers. I don't know who Mr. Rogers was. Do you?
No.
Married to Mrs. Rogers, I expect. However, the most important series to me was Square One TV. Square One was a series that taught children math through a series of sketches and music videos. I take it by that you mean maths. It was a very fun way to learn. Children were taught about percentages with a love song called 8% of My Heart, where a man playing a teenager tells the girl that she has 8% of his heart and then explains all the things he gives the rest of his heart to, including many things he actually loves more, including a jacket and the New York Giants football team. There was a cartoon sketch and even a Pac-Man parody. Wow. However, my favourite sketch was MathNet. While all of the other sketches were self-contained, MathNet was a serialized police procedural where the heroes, I suppose it's a play on Dragnet, isn't it? Heroes Kate Tuesday and George Frankly used math to solve crimes. After having a real transatlantic problem here, we call it maths, not maths. Eventually, the MathNet segment grew from a 6-minute to taking up the bulk of the program. This was a kids' TV series that shaped the rest of my life. Goodness. The series was an obvious homage to Dragnet. I spoke that earlier, sorry, not having read your email previously. And it stirred my interest in that series and sent me on a course of podcasting and writing that's really been part of my life's direction for the last decade plus of my life. I sadly didn't get to watch some of the great 1990s kids programs such as Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain. I vaguely remember that during these formative years. However, many of these programs were so intelligently written that teens and adults could enjoy. In addition, given that those formative years were almost exclusively in the 1980s, it meant that I was almost completely spared Barney the Purple Dinosaur.
Yeah, very lucky. Very lucky.
So I consider that all to the good, totally. I had a quick Jerry Anderson question. I didn't grow up with these series at all, and I've been watching them on Prime. I was wondering if there were any series where you thought the series as a whole was vastly different from the first episode. So far, the one I've enjoyed most is Joe 90, for the insanity of it and how they pull the rug out from under the viewer at the end of the episode. Finally, I recently got Hulu so that I can watch one TV show that's currently airing. In order to get as much value as possible out of having the subscription, I decided to watch other programs to get value from it. Despite my advice to you on this podcast, I watched a little Lost in Space, and in particular the robot-free and Dr. Smith-free pilot, and it wasn't bad science fiction, though a bit dull. I do seem to remember that the black and white season of Lost in Space, which I'd forgotten even existed, was far less silly and campy than the colour version. Absolutely right. It does seem that a lot of good black and white programmes decided that if they were going to be broadcast in colour, they better be as mad as possible.
So true.
Sorry for the length of the email. It's no problem at all, Adam. It's good to hear from you. Hope you stay healthy and keep putting out great content. Regards, Adam Graham, sent from Memory Lane. Oh. That was all very interesting, wasn't it? A lot of stuff there that I don't know about. But
well, you gave me a flashback to maths programs. I remember at school, everybody's favourite thing was this little stop motion Mexican mouse called El Nombre, and every time he played the guitar, and he sort of like a Mask of Zorro, and but I remember every time he appeared, he had this sort of big like group of people who used to say El Nombre, and everybody in the class would be like El Nombre. It was great. Good times they were. 90s. Jerry Anderson shows, I think you hit the nail on the head there with Joe 90, to be honest. That's the one that kind of swerves you, doesn't it, really? I think a lot of the others, though, are fairly straightforward in their opening episode, because a lot of them are very good at establishing what it's about and setting that. Yeah, in fact, I would say, actually, that Jerry Anderson productions are very good at doing that.
Yeah. I can't think of ones that differ greatly from their opening episode. Can you?
Not really.
And I haven't watched Joe 90 in years. I mean, as I may have bored you with before, I did abandon Doctor Who for Joe 90 because it was advertised in our sort of school magazine saying this new great thing from the Thunderbirds creators. So I stopped watching. I didn't watch the Space Pirates because of it. I'd love someone to be able to verify the broadcast dates of Joe 90 and the Space Pirates. Patrick Troughton's story, for those of you who didn't know.
Patrick Troughton,
as the auto-speak thingy on the computer said many years ago. So, do you want to do Planet of the Daleks, episode 2?
Yes, please. I'd love to. Well, I've got it queued up and ready, so we only need to click the play button, and it will play. But I've done it so that it plays after the ident, for those at home who wish to who wish to watch from their DVDs. So I'm ready when you are. 3, 2, 1 on the...
1 is the pressing, okay?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, my favourite title sequence here never fails to captivate me.
I love that. And I love the logo, the way the logo comes in.
The whole thing is very clever.
And then it goes when it zoom around like that. That's how Doctor Who should be. Planet of the Daleks by Terry Nation. Episode 2. None of your parts.
There's that Dalek prop in all its glory.
And he sprayed it all over the ears, hasn't he?
He sprayed it everywhere, and then later on you'll just see it in the background of every shot to make it look like there's more Daleks. And they haven't even bothered to change it. Love this bit when he flicks over the eye.
Vision. Total loss of vision due to spraying paint all over it.
Yeah, hardly surprising.
It's interesting. I think the top dome looks more matte than the rest of it. Discuss.
Yeah. I think the top dome is pretty much the only bit they've really painted, haven't they? They've left the rest of it and just painted over the eye.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this story so much. It just makes me so happy. This is true comfort telly for me.
Yeah, me too. It might be difficult to commentate on it. Just watch it.
Just end up watching it there.
He ended up in the Reginald Perrin series.
He's been in quite a few different. He sort of just appears, but I can't say I know anything about him myself.
No,
don't lift off the top.
And I've worn that jacket. I'm sure I said that last time.
You did say that last time.
I will say it forever. I wore that jacket in Peter Capaldi's trailer.
I love this whole business about the automatic distress call and you lift the dome off. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, never been mentioned again, has it?
I was going to say there's a lot of Dalek lore in this story, which is just sort of is mentioned in this, but then never spoken of again.
Except in every Big Finish story,
They can't survive sub-zero temperatures.
I told you that Ben...
Ice of the Daleks.
that Ben couldn't stand watching that bit because he thought it looked like poo on her. I've said all that.
She's with the... Oh, the controls... Oh, there's the thing behind is moving somewhat. One of the panels, yeah.
Well, the whole thing wobbles because it's
a great bit set, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it wobbles on purpose, doesn't it?
To add that movement, yeah. Look at that, Katie acting her heart out there. The whole shebang. I love the way that the fungus forms around her rings.
Yes.
So I think it's quite a nice touch. But you look at that. That looks like a jungle to me. I mean, a jungle with a good clearing, but a convincing jungle nevertheless,
And now we go over to Benji Clifford, who will mount a spirited defence of a rather fake-looking jungle in 1973.
I will defend it. I will defend it. The eye plants I won't defend. And why is he sitting next to one?
I like the eye plants.
I like them, but look, they're hanging. The eye plants detect movement, and they're hanging around in front of it.
That's true. Why don't they constantly wiggle around while they're near them? They only. Oh no, they detect Spyrodons, don't they, or Daleks?
But then why did they squirt Joe? They detect just general movement because he runs his hand.
The eye plants don't do the squirting.
I thought yes, they do.
It's a different. No, they don't. High pitched voices.
I thought the eye plants move and squirt them.
No.
Okay, I'm wrong.
No, the eye plants, the squirty plants are the squirty plants.
And these are the eye plants.
These, yeah. Edit. That was a really obvious edit there.
Oh, terrible, yeah.
Because they had to sort out the
fire of them.
Look, here it comes, bottom left. The animated bogey. Here it comes.
Wouldn't want that poking you in the bum, would you?
Just, it would be nice if when it got to it, he just goes, oh! Yes, exactly.
Oh, was that you? I love their badge insignia. I think that's a nice touch that you don't really think about until you look at it and think about it.
And Princess Hancock, who's being really unreasonable, and then suddenly has to be all nice and sit down and chat so that he can be grabbed. Love it. Look, here we go. One of them bumps. Look, we go. Ba-dump. Oh.
Ba-dump.
Can't even go past the camera without messing it up.
Oh, and the dome went there. You're going to hear the Dalek voices in a minute.
Oh,
My favourite classic series voices, all close up like this.
They're not as good in this scene. In these jungle scenes, they're not as good. I think all these jungle scenes with Daleks were done in one go. Because they speak like this, it's not very animated.
Yes, they do. There's the eye plant. Fascinating.
Yes. I'm staying here to get grabbed.
No, yeah, you are right.
Yeah. Well, I've taught Benji something about the eye plants.
They're basically radishes, aren't they? On a
oh, it makes them even more. And the doctor's chewing a bit of grass. What's that about?
I love the way he doesn't call it a snake. He calls it a coil.
Does he?
Yeah.
Did you
Rather
see
nasty coil?
Did you see how the daylight came up there all of a sudden?
No.
Yeah, the lights suddenly came on.
Some bloke in the background. Quickly, turn it on. They've got to mention it. Here we go. I think he says coil. Well, he mentions it somewhere.
Does
anyway.
he? I don't remember that. Weber, I'll turn and the camera will move with me.
The eye plants are moving.
They're very moving. I'm in tears.
Yeah, they are.
Quick, run over. Don't run too far because there's no more jungle.
I love that ship. I think it looks heavy, doesn't it? Like the door looks particularly heavy.
And did we discuss whether the inside is actually the inside?
I think we did, and I think we came to the conclusion that it doesn't. The side of the ship on the right-hand side is open, so
the
that
camera
they can
pokes
act inside it. Yeah, and then from here, of course, you only see it from you only see it from this angle, thus not seeing it.
She goes back in.
God, I do feel for her. It's not a very nice scenario to be in, is it?
Don't worry,
really?
it's not real.
Isn't
The rule is that invisible things have to always rock things and knock into things. How come it was entering? Is that Wester?
I assume it must be Wester. Yeah, because he
what's
saves
he
her,
doing
doesn't
in
he?
the bushes as well? He must have a very long tail.
It's never referred to if they have very long tails. I like to think that maybe they do now.
Yeah, and people are constantly tripping over each other.
Oh, that's maybe why everybody's sort of... I love this. He runs brave.
Then he gets a bit of CSO and you know he's going to be beaten up.
By a very unconvincing stick.
Here we are.
There we go. I love the music here.
This is the kind of stupid acting that Doctor Who requires.
You can't take it seriously.
Oh, hello, I'm
dear.
CSO. Nah.
There's a good whack there.
Lots of Fuller's Earth on the floor. So now we're supposed to think that Joe's still in there, even though the door's open and we can see she isn't. Just saying. The Doctor's being particularly clueless there, I thought. He's like, I don't know what to do in a dangerous situation.
So the Dalek there, this always annoys me because they don't move their eyes until like around here.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas normally they looked a bit proppy.
Primitive spacecraft.
God,
It's
battered,
like
don't they?
In the last scene with the Dalek Supreme, it said, the Daleks are never defeated. It's doing the same voice.
It is, isn't it?
I think they shot that all in one go.
It's really sort of, yeah.
Not that sort of shut up, blah, blah, where they get really animated.
When they're inside the I was going to say the city, but the control area, they're really like aggressive, aren't they? Total command, very shouting and. Wait.
Takes some guts, doesn't it?
Interrogation. I love all these things though that like we were
it shoots
discussing
all
this,
of him.
where the Dalek just says disable, and there's something sinister about that. Fire, disable.
Yeah.
It looks like he's left the oven open. Yeah.
Yeah, they are a mess, those Daleks.
They're such a mess.
Why
wouldn't
wouldn't kill them just to paint over those bits, would it?
I think at one point you see one with because I know that they built a lot of new Daleks for this story.
Did they?
In fairness, yeah, which are known I think as the goon props that were to kind of flesh it out, but they were built more for the purpose of kind of making it seem as though there were more Daleks.
Well, that's why they're called goons, because they don't work. Yes,
exactly. But then later on, because of the condition of the Dalek props, they were converted to be used as standard props, but they were never as good. Never as. They're still. Look, I love that shot so much.
This is where the Daleks do a bit of bumping into everything.
It's the best thing. And this is my favourite music in the whole story.
Ding, 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 ding.
Got the lift.
Dalek, no, if I can press this button. Luckily, it's out of shot, so you can't see. I'm actually just missing the button completely. You can now see through his grating. You can see the actor with the hood. Do you see the
bloke in there? His eyebrows.
Is that his eyebrows? I think I saw his eyelashes then.
Here's an interesting thing.
At which point can I do John Pertwee's inner monologue? I hate these Daleks.
Well,
I don't know why they're popular. And people like them more than they like me. Anyway, sorry, what were you going to say?
So is this at which point do the Dalek guns? Oh, he whack there!
Oh, that right in my eye! And now he's looking the wrong way.
And now he's really like the guy is trying to. Oh, I'm blimey! I've got to kind of sort this out now. But yes, at which point do the Dalek guns go in at the middle? Because they used to be straight, whereas suddenly they've all been deliberately bent in the centre.
Well, it's because they got grabbed by the scene shifters, didn't they? They just grabbed them and moved them that way, and it bent them inwards.
You speak very, very... Yeah, that's a very truthful remark, actually.
That's what happened, I think. I think that it happened to a couple of them, so they bent all the others.
Makes sense.
I don't know whether that's true. I just made that fact up.
Yeah, it could work.
Well, now you're in this cell, I want you to prepare yourself for a moral lesson later.
Sit down. I love the bit later on where he does a real kind of Wurzel Gummidge, sort of stopping him from standing up by putting his hand there.
Is that Wurzel Gummidge stuff?
It's sort of the way he moves is very Wurzel, in my opinion.
Well, I think you'll find it's very John Pertwee. And
it's very John. Yeah. No, Wurzel plays John Pertwee.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so they took ages. Look at the makeup they've done on him there. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You'd never know he's made of straw.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
I love the fact that the Daleks, the barbaric evil race, have supplied them with a little thing to sit on. Humans will require to sit down.
It's true. That level. Whereas in the original story, of course, they didn't. They had a sort of bench, didn't they?
Did they? I can't remember.
The doctor's,
I was confused it with
in the Daleks,
movie.
the doctor's lying down, isn't he, at some point?
What are you doing?
I'm weak. I can't go out of the city.
The whole thing about the Thals fighting the Daleks in space is really weird, isn't it? I'm sure I went on about this last time. I mean, if they live on Skaro, where the Daleks live, you can't have neighbours like the Daleks, can you?
No chance. Well, the thing is, though, I just don't believe the Thals would outsmart the Daleks anyway. I just don't. Just the Daleks are just too aggressive.
Yeah.
The fact that Daleks can enslave entire worlds, but yet they can't really conquer their own planet. You think that you conquer your own planet before thinking, I'm going to conquer that one.
Yeah.
It's Hitler's Russia all over again.
Hitler's Russia.
The lack of it, rather. And I do love... Oh, there's the quote, isn't it?
I fancy that he was trying to remember that line then.
Do you think so?
What is it? It's brain afraid.
Now he's smiling because he's relieved. I got it right, didn't I?
I find it so alarming that he was younger there than I am now.
Time is funny though. People look a lot older. As time has gone on, we look a lot.
Sonic Screwdriver.
Fancy hanky.
He lost his sonic screwdriver in Frontier in Space.
Not anymore. Maybe he made another one. Cassette tape of the Bee Gees.
I love the fact that a cassette tape was such an unknown thing then that you could pretend it was an entire recorder and no one would go, that's not right.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
I was recording Doctor Who on a reel-to-reel at this point.
That's just madness, isn't it? Time is crazy. The way he's holding just a bit of string.
Yeah.
All the things
bit of string.
He's just all the things to be stranded on an alien planet with, and he's got a bit of string.
It's in these stories you detect lots of things that artists took photographs of the show to get reference for the with Jerry Haylock for the TV action and countdown strips.
So true. Now, am I not the only one that thinks that looks like quite a comfortable little bed? Or is there a bloke underneath that? Oh, no. I looked at somebody's hands, go, I thought, what?
Miss Katie insisted on having a bloke in there with her.
You'd be absolutely petrified at 2 floating bowls, wouldn't you?
Yes, get in.
You've been infected by the fungoids.
Don't worry, we've got a cream for that.
It's actually a load of old gravy in a bowl. I'm going to just drip on your arm.
It's just
Bisto, it's all right.
Do you think it was gravy?
I suspect it's just some sort of form of I don't quite know what it is. Probably.
We have ointment for that, but unfortunately we've run out, so I'll just do some pool water on you. Wipe that over your arm, dear. It's very nice.
I think that it should have had her gagging from the smell of it. Sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I've got very puerile all of a sudden. I think they're overdoing it with the bowl, aren't they?
The bowl moves in time to the speaking.
He tries hard.
Do you think
that here we see Katie's one haircut of this programme. It changes dramatically on location.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh, bless her for just that took so much muscular thorax control to lower herself down like that.
To go back in such a way. That's very true, but don't hit me with that screwdriver.
He goes,
You don't know me.
ow! That really hurts.
Oh, didn't you know that our ribs are made of jelly? You've killed me. Ugh. Only our hair is strong.
Then we must attack the Daleks with your hair.
He loves that prop, doesn't he? He enjoys having that. I can
yeah.
tell. He definitely took it home, I reckon, as well.
I bet he did.
That would be. Sean Pertwee's got that somewhere.
Well, when I interviewed him for Mythmakers, he was wearing that jacket.
Was he really?
He was. Yeah.
No way. He must have a lot of them. He must have some of them. They
What,
can't
you
have all gone to Bonhams.
Yeah, so I was talking about John Pertwee. I interviewed.
Oh, John! I thought you meant Sean.
No, I've
Pertwee
never
was-
interviewed Sean, but I interviewed John Pertwee.
John
He
Pertwee.
was, These Daleks are not moving.
Yeah, they're all the goons. Look at them. It looks awful because they're not moving.
To make them look like they're alive, let's just put cigarettes on their suckers. You imagine that they all had burning cigarettes, all their sort of, as if they're
Very
smoking.
nice.
So
I love that fire alarm that they put up there, and they've taken out the thing that says, ring if an emergency, and just replaced it with some colours to make it look like a clock.
I'd loved if they'd replace it with exterminate. These two Daleks are blatantly not looking at each other.
I have to say, I cannot stand the pupil in the Dalek eyes.
Yeah.
I cannot.
It makes them look
stand it.
surprised all the time, like they're going, oh.
Just silly. It's just silly.
I know. I in the Big Finish covers, I always wanted the sort of single light. Although we did for our latest Third Doctor one, we have put the pupil in because it's just right for the era,
Era specific, isn't it? Yeah, that's the argument, isn't it?
Oh look, there's the end of the jungle and the sky above it. We've literally just cut it at a strange angle.
And he's got his lunchbox there, and is wrapped in a bit of bag. Oh no!
Uh-oh. Oh dear. No, I'm going to
That was
blow
quite
your
a good,
face off.
considered look, wasn't it? Like,
Hmm.
I'm not gonna. Oh, look, his suit's breaking there. They've obviously done this. They've done a fight scene before this, anyway, and a struggle.
Ah, don't worry, it's the end of the episode. There's a spaceship landing.
Quick, throw some stuff at them.
Yeah,
There, get the fan out.
that's a bit like the gas shell that goes off in the first episode of Genesis of the Daleks, where it lands over to the right, and then all this gas comes in from the left.
So fun.
And that
isn't it?
spaceship was a long way off, and yet there was clearly a smoke machine just off camera.
At least they put the effort in.
They're not going to. That picture's been used in TV action as a bit of
100%. Well, it's a good profile shot, isn't it?
because they would just have their camera in front of the screen, waiting for the Doctor to be still for a while, and then
Yeah.
you can see lots of those with Tom Baker in front and in Ark in Space. There are loads of reference photos taken during that as well.
I suppose you've got to do it. You've got to do it, haven't you, really?
Look at that, shaved off.
That's an
The
easy
fun
sneaky
guys
call.
of God.
She said, glad you didn't put that on my hair.
You're
Oh.
bald now,
There's
like
3
us.
minutes to go. This is what I used to do back in the old days of Doctor Who. I used to try not to look at the clock because I would be so upset to see there's only like 2 minutes left of the episode. I think, oh, please go on a bit longer.
It flies by, though, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Like that bowl.
It does fly by. CSO there, look at that. The
So
hairline.
convincing. She's sitting very still and facing in the wrong direction.
Well, she's looking at a man, isn't she? Dressed in spandex, holding
Yes.
a bowl.
I suppose life has its rewards.
Do you think that Roy Skelton was there? He must be. I think he must have been, yes. Do you think that he was the one wearing the spandex? No, I don't. He was just off camera next to a microphone.
I suppose he was doing it from his Dalek microphone, wasn't he?
I expect so, yeah. You're right. Of course, it seems strange that, that multiple people were doing Dalek voices at this point. It's a strange... Because you just don't think of it now.
Because of me.
Because you're doing all the voices yourself. Whereas, of course, here the idea of just one person doing them wouldn't have even... They would have thought, no, we can't do it. We can't...
They
just have
talk to
one
each
person.
other, yeah. They've got to... But hardly anyone makes a comment on that these days when we're filming. Some people do. Some people say, yeah, you're not just the voice of the Daleks, you're the voice of all the Daleks.
Oh, there's a little bit of background moving, but the bowl has stopped altogether.
Yeah, he's just shoved the bowl on a table, hasn't he?
Don't worry, I have an invisible table.
He's actually sitting on an armchair. His feet up.
You're just waiting for him to say to Joe,
you do realise that I am completely naked.
Oh, no.
oh, I thought that was your arm. Anyway.
Oh, dear.
But it was his leg, that's what I meant, listeners.
Here we go. Look, we got the new files have arrived.
Right, it's some of the old ones are dead, so we got some new ones in.
I think, you've come here now. Oh, I told you, stay there. I said, don't come to
somewhere on this planet.
Over 10,000 Daleks.
Not even enough to conquer the Isle of Wight.
So true. Here we go.
That reaction, no reaction there.
He's like, oh, come on.
Oh,
now he's like,
just a bit.
I've left the oven on. That's the look, isn't it?
It was that level. He's taken the sort of peaceful nature it's like when Weber points the gun at him, he sort of looks like, well, are you going to do the shopping or am I?
Yeah, it is. It's that kind of... Right, okay. Yes, that is a picture that you've drawn. Yes. Well, there we go. You know,
a picture you've drawn.
Well, it's that look, though, isn't it? Like, I suppose. Yeah, it's all right. Well, that was Planet of the Daleks episode 2. We will be doing another one soon. But what a joy. What a wonderful joy.
I tell you, the big tragedy is that we can't just carry on.
I know. Carry on Daleking. But the beauty is we get to think about it. We get to wait. And
should we see if Jamie Anderson's around?
Oh, I think we should. Oh, yes.
Oh, how do I do this? You're going to ask him anything interesting?
I'll get the random question.
I could ask him that thing about Anderson shows and differing.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Hello.
Hello.
Listen, can you think...
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Can you think of any Jerry Anderson shows where the first episode differed very distinctly from all the following episodes, like they sort of appeared to be something completely different?
Not off the top of my head. I mean,
Joe 90 was suggested.
Joe 90? Well, I mean, I suppose because it's an intro Origins episode, but he still does do that stuff. It was just all fantasy in the first episode, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't remember.
I was going to suggest, it doesn't really count, but the pilot of Space Police, which then became Space Precinct.
Yeah.
8-year gap between the two, but I mean, a completely different in every possible way, other than being in space and about police.
In that way, it was exactly the same.
And I suppose Terrorhawks, the opening two-parter, Expect the Unexpected, because it was all super straight-laced and very serious and very kind of Captain Scarlet in its writing and approach, and then the series became much more comedic. Does that help?
Yeah, no, that's good. Then they thought, this is ludicrous, so we're just going to have to send it up, is what they thought.
Well, pretty much. I mean, we've got pantomime baddies and ugly heroes that look like they might have been in terrible car accidents. So we need to, poke some fun at this.
Benji, you were going to say something. What was that?
No, I was just going, yes. I was just agreeing.
It's very important that you let him agree, though, because, we need validation.
Very good. You've been having a nice time there in the nice weather?
Yes, been out on the farm doing farmy things.
Very good.
Getting ready to bring the ewes in for lambing next week.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
Do you have to have professionals in to deal with all that?
No, the sheep are professionals. They know exactly what they're doing, and we just don't interfere.
Oh, well, that's good. What you should have said was bear. Anyway.
I'll try and think of a better sheep baby joke. But it is very cute because you just walk out in the morning and then there's like a little what looks like a kitten because they're miniature sheep.
Yeah.
The babies are even smaller. So, so sweet.
That's rather nice. Benji, have you got an annoying question for Jamie?
Yeah, I have. If you could wedgie any historical figure, who would it be?
How would you describe a wedgie tastefully for anyone who doesn't know what it is?
Do you want me to describe it?
Yes.
Grabbing the back of their underwear and pulling it upwards towards their head as far as you possibly can, ideally right over the head so the waistband then is on the front side of that person's forehead.
Wow, that far?
Well, normally that means that the pants have given way. I think that's called an extreme wedgie. Benji may correct me.
Atomic wedgie, isn't it?
Atomic wedgie, that's it. God, it's a long time since I was in wedgie territory.
I love the way that you immediately spoke with such great authority about wedgies.
Nobody's ever asked me about wedgies before.
Well, over to Wedgie Central. So, a historical character you would like to have given a wedgie to?
Gosh, that's quite difficult.
I mean, I suppose Hitler's the obvious one.
Hitler's the obvious wedgie man, yeah.
Because it's not that significant a thing. It's just, slightly uncomfortable and a bit embarrassing. So it needs to be someone that only needs that level of negativity to be brought to them.
That's true, but I mean, if right at the beginning of his political career someone did the wedgie thing, that probably would have derailed him, wouldn't it?
Maybe they did do that, and that's what happened. We're playing with fire here.
That's true. These people are indestructible, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah. Is it really bad if I say Michael Grade?
No. Not at all.
That's a solid choice, though. Well, you still can. He's in the studio.
Here he is, right now.
And these are his pants.
That was me ripping his pants, by the way, via atomic wedgie.
Who would you wedgie?
Oh, easy. Dr. Beeching.
Because of the trains.
Yeah, he'd get wedgied he'd get atomic wedgied, yeah, straight away.
I don't know whether anyone listening won't know about Dr. Beeching, but he was the person who prepared the report that contracted the British railway network.
And has caused problems for this entire country and plummeted us into, it's just caused problems ever since. It was a silly move.
Very good. Yeah. And who's your historical wedgie recipient?
Oh, gosh. Margaret Thatcher, I think.
Oh, ouch. Gosh, I don't know. I wouldn't know, but maybe a wedgie is worse for a lady than it is for a boy.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like a boy's thing. I was just trying to think of a historical character who, I really dislike, and Margaret Thatcher really fits the bill for me.
There you go. What a trio we've selected.
Yeah. All at the same time.
Dinner party with them.
And go 3, 2, 1, go, and we just wedgie them immediately.
It's a great idea. I'm behind this 100%.
I'm just trying to think if there's anyone that is just more humorous, really, rather than so vicious. No, I can't think of anyone. Well, thank you. We've been doing Planet of the Daleks Episode 2 commentary today.
Oh, lovely. I feel like I need to go and rewatch that because it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's great.
I think you do. I think you definitely do.
Benji's a huge fan of the crap jungle.
Brilliant jungle.
It's a bit of a hallmark of most areas of Doctor Who, isn't it? Crap jungle.
Yeah.
So.
But Benji is seriously quite offended if you say it's crap.
Oh, sorry. I mean the lovely jungle. That stylised jungle is a hallmark of Doctor Who.
Thank you so much.
It's all got a bit tense. Right. Well, thanks. Sorry, don't ever mention the jungles. It was my fault. Sorry.
Am I getting a wedgie now?
Yes, number one historical figure, Jamie Anderson, atomic wedgie o'clock.
I'm never wearing pants again.
I don't know what happens if you attempt a wedgie and find they're not wearing pants. Something involving a lot of friction.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we need to leave this conversation.
Thank you. Goodbye, Jamie.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for having me. Goodbye.
Goodbye. He's gone. What are we going to do next week, mate?
I guess carry on the Sunman.
The Sunman? You want to do Sunmakers?
We could do the Sunman, yes.
All right, we'll do... where are we? We're episode 3, are we?
Yeah, we're on episode 3 of the Sunman.
We're saying
I'm just going to keep saying it's the Sunman now.
Oh, listen. Last week we talked about Follow Me, and we really should... And last week we were going to play your version of the Follow Me theme, and I didn't have it, so I had to edit that bit out. Let's have that now.
Time and tide wait for no man, while the river flows to the sea. So if you want to fight for what you think is right, follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Yeah, follow me. Follow me. Oh, follow me. Follow me. Follow me.
Go.
Now we all
Love
feel
it.
better.
Great fun.
So next week we'll be talking about the Sunmakers, episode 3. We'll be commentating. We'll be doing another commentary.
Commentary.
You can repeat everything I say.
No.
Oh.
That old joke. Yes. Excellent. Looking forward to it.
So don't forget to keep your emails coming in to podcast@nicholasbriggs.com, and do suggest things that we should be having a little chat about. In the meantime, I shall carry on watching Follow Me later today. Thank you.
And I will be following him by carry on watching Follow Me.
Well, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. Goodbye.
Pressing stop now. Ka-chunk.